Well, we are at the Australian Open business end of the tournament. Yes, that's right. The second week, 2 + 2 = 4. There's 4 matchups left. We're in the quarterfinals. And 75% of the matchups that were projected to be on the quarterfinals are happening. 3 out of the 4. So very exciting. We got the top level players in these quarterfinals. So we're going to break down the matchups. We're going to take a look at their histories, the head-to-heads, how they've been playing recently, and who I think is going to make it through to the semifinals. And I'll announce my favorite to win the tournament from here on out. So this is the slice, and let's get into it.
I go fair. He looked at me and I just go, can I shake your hand?
From the Delray Beach Open. Miami Open. Down here in the grounds. We are here with the man, Milos Raonic.
Welcome to the slice.
Well, thanks for being here, folks. Like I said, we're on the business end of this tournament, and it's about to get really good. So, speaking of business, this is a business, and thank you for supporting that by doing things like clicking the links below, checking out our sponsors. The Australian Open coverage is sponsored by Top Court. So with Top Court, it's a video archive of lessons from top coaches and pros. You might have been watching Andrei Rublev. He's in the quarterfinals. He's got the meanest forehand in the game. He's got a whole lesson series talking about how he trains, what drills he does with his forehand. It's like the most high quality footage ever. So you can sign up for a free 14-day trial to see if you want to do the annual pass, which works out to like $15 a month. It's honestly a no-brainer to me, and you support the show if you do it. So thank you guys for your support. Now let's get into these quarterfinal matchups. But how did we get here? Quickly, we had some interesting matchups in the last round for sure. We had Aslan Kratzev, the Russian Lion, who is he's causing so much havoc here. He was down 2 sets to love versus our guy, Felix Auger-Aliassime. Also, wearing the Unicode today. Very neutral, I find, with Federer not here. Pretty neutral to wear this, even though the 2 other GOAT contenders are going for history at this year's Australian Open. Obviously, Nadal can pass Federer for the most Grand Slams of all time, and Djokovic can get to number 9 Australian Open and number 18 Slam overall. So lots on the line. Anyway, sorry, back to Aslan the Lion. Kratzev, who has a great interview on the Game to Love podcast, check them out. They did an interview with him right before the tournament. It's amazing. So you don't get that journalism other places. What Nick McCarville, commentator at tennis, tweeted out, can't believe you'd tweet this. Has anyone heard of, he said, I've never heard of Aslan Kratzev before this tournament. Anyone else? And he just got roasted. It's like, dude, you're a tennis commentator. Your full-time job is to know who these players are. And it's not like Kratzev hasn't been doing unbelievably well on the Challenger Tour before this and been playing at a super high level. So obviously getting to the quarterfinals is big for him, but it's not out of the blue moon. So that was funny. So anyways, we had Djokovic beat Raonic. That was going to be a tight match. His injury, it's been up and down. He said, it's definitely a tear after the Fritz match, and then, after the Raonic match, he's like, yeah, I don't want to speculate or talk about more what it is, even though he got the MRI then. So he's definitely got an injury. We just don't know really how it's affecting him. Apparently, they're doing a good job at managing it. Kratzev took out Felix Auger-Aliassime, like I said, coming from 2 sets down. Nadal has been really untested so far. He's had some, against Nori, our guy. He had some good rallies. I thought Fognini last night, I'm saying it right now, Fognini would be a tough match. And honestly, it could have been. Fognini was up a break in the second set. And then Rafa Nadal was just like, you are not going to play well. And he just somehow mind-tricked Fognini into playing not good for the rest of that set, dropping the ball, wasting 3 break points to go to serve out for the set. And then Nadal just cleaned it up, and it was really no contest. So that's going to change, though, in this next round. So what are the quarterfinal matchups here? You can see beside me, the preview quarterfinal was Djokovic-Zverev. It would have been Thiem and then Schwartzman, Rublev, Medvedev, Tsitsipas, and Nadal. So the reality, as you can see it's Djokovic-Zverev on the top. So what's their head-to-head? Djokovic is leading their head-to-head 5-2. Their last meeting, though, is really what we should think about because it was super tight. It was at the ATP Cup. It went 3 sets, and it really could have gone either way. Now, I'm looking at that matchup, and I'm going, what's changed since that ATP Cup match? Zverev's playing better. He's mashing the ball. He's only dropped 1 set in this tournament. What's happening with Djokovic? He's playing well. He's obviously in the quarterfinals, but he has an injury now. So if anything, Djokovic's level's dropped a bit since that match, and Zverev's level has increased. Maybe you would want to be more like this because Djokovic is obviously a much better tennis player than Zverev. So maybe Djokovic dropped a little bit. Maybe Zverev's increased a little bit. So I think this match is officially upset alert for Djokovic. I had Djokovic on upset alert against Raonic. I think that was fair because he was injured apparently. Apparently didn't really affect him though. He played amazing versus Raonic. So this is on upset alert though because Zverev is absolutely crunching the ball. Like massive serves. He doesn't seem to be having the service yips, but we'll see if he can keep that up playing against Djokovic, who can get in your mind. Like Patrick Mouratoglou said, this is his words, not mine. He acts like he's going to not play well. He acts like he's giving up, and then it comes back roaring. He's a gamester. He's a trickster. He will play with you, and Zverev's mind can get played with. That's for sure. So I've got Djokovic on upset alert there, obviously picking him as a favorite to come through that match, but I'm 100% staying up tonight till the wee hours of the morning to watch that, and I hope you'll join me. Maybe I'll see you on live. The next match, Dimitrov versus Kratzev. So unsurprisingly, they've never played 0-0 head-to-head. On paper, Dimitrov's the favorite for sure. But as we've seen, Kratzev has just destroyed players that are much higher ranked than him routinely throughout this tournament. So what is it going to be? I think a lot of this is going to depend on Dimitrov's serve. What I've seen, the little bit that I've seen from Kratzev so far, I don't know his game inside out. I'll be straight up honest with you on that. But he has amazing hands. He took some of Felix Auger-Aliassime's best serves and just picked them up straight off the baseline, hit winners with them off his backhand. So he can definitely hit big time. He's got massive weapons, and he likes to take cracks at the ball. So I think if Dimitrov can play smart, play well, but be aggressive, especially with his serving, he can win. Obviously, I think he can win. He's the better tennis player. But Kratzev is obviously super dangerous. He's got nothing to lose. He's unpredictable. His name's Aslan. Like that has to give you a lot more power if your name's Aslan. If my name was Aslan Boughton, I feel like I'd have like a mane or something. Who knows? But I'm picking Dimitrov to come through that match, but it could be super interesting. Obviously, that again is happening tonight. Going to check that one out. And then on the bottom half, we got Rublev versus Medvedev. Oh yeah, also you can see here, I got the Russian flags there. Shout out to the Russians. First time ever in the Open era that 3 Russians have been at this stage of a major. That's unbelievable. Russian tennis. Shout out. We got Rublev versus Medvedev. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, this is like, I can't pick between them. And I can see why you'd say that, and that might be fair. The head-to-head is 3-0 for Medvedev. Also, Rublev's never won a set off Medvedev, even in their challenger or futures matches. So in this head-to-head, Medvedev has owned it. I think it's a style matchup for that reason because Rublev hits huge, and Medvedev's the best counterpuncher in the world probably, or up there with it. He can redirect pace so well. And these fast courts, I don't know who it favors more. So that's going to be super interesting. Because Medvedev's owned their head-to-head and they've known each other forever and he's maybe in the head of Rublev, I'm taking Medvedev in this one. He's got an 18-match win streak. I mean, come on. The guy, I think the guy's officially forgotten how to lose a tennis match. So to me, he's still arguably the guy to beat at this tournament. He hasn't lost in the last 18 matches and he's played all the best players in the world. So I don't know what else to say. Tsitsipas versus Nadal. Nadal's up 6-1 in the head-to-head. So the only time that Tsitsipas won was a couple years ago on clay. But the thing with this matchup is, obviously, Nadal's tennis IQ and his mastery of the sport, it puts Tsitsipas off because he knows how to play with him. Nadal knows how to change it up to throw him off. Tsitsipas is large. He's got a huge wingspan. He's got power from both sides, and he's got a great serve. But he's so good now at this point in his career to be able to use everything in his bag to make Tsitsipas uncomfortable. So that's why, obviously, I'm leaning Nadal because he's won 20 slams. He's like one of the GOATs. There's no other reason for that. He's won 6-1 in their head-to-head. The only added side to Tsitsipas' side is that he's 22. So he's like 3 months ago, he was he could have been a different player. He's been playing well this tournament. He just had a walkover versus Berrettini. So he's going to be fresh. Nadal's also pretty fresh, but he hasn't been tested. So I think if Tsitsipas were to win the first set in this match, the odds would swing heavily where I'd almost be favoring Tsitsipas from that moment on. Because we still don't know what Nadal's back is fully like. Against Fognini, I saw him not get down to some backhand super well. So if I was in Tsitsipas' camp, the game plan should be to mix it up. Obviously, serve big, hit big, move Nadal around on the baseline, but then do some low slices to bring Nadal forward and get down where he doesn't want to do that right now, and see how that works for him. See what his body's doing, and then play to that. I don't know if playing the man is a good strategy. Apparently, a lot of coaches will say play the ball, not the man, and that's probably what he should do. But I think if you're thinking about strategies of play or plays to make, getting the ball down to Nadal's backhand would be good from what I've seen in the Fognini match, at least. So there's a little preview of the 4 matchups. They're amazing. I feel like all of the guys in this quarterfinal are the ones who are supposed to be there. Nobody just coasted through. Kratzev is there because he's dominated and he's played the best tennis of his life and he deserves to be there. Dimitrov deserves to be there. He took out Dominic Thiem, who was gassed a bit from that match apparently, which is not good enough, as I said on the front row show. He'll be disappointed. I'm disappointed. But Dimitrov deserves to be there. He loves hard, fast courts like this. So in the semifinals, I got though looking like Djokovic, Dimitrov, Medvedev, Nadal. That's what my brain says. My heart says that there's a lot of upset potential here. Zverev, Djokovic, Tsitsipas, Nadal, Rublev, Medvedev, Kratzev, Dimitrov. They could all the four people getting through, it could be the opposite. Not going to lie. So here's my prediction for the final, the winner. My brain tells me Djokovic is still the favorite to win this tournament, for sure. For somehow, at the odds that I've seen, at one point had Medvedev and Thiem ahead of Djokovic and Nadal. I think that was right after Djokovic barely got through fits with an injury, so that kind of makes sense. But this is, you got to admit, this is one of the first tournaments we've seen in a while, especially in majors, maybe ever, that there's been so many guys where I felt like there was an actual chance for them to win. I feel like there's an actual, obviously, Djokovic, Nadal. There's a real chance for Medvedev. There's a real chance for even Zverev, even Rublev. Like, there's so many guys who could do this, and this was kind of our thought from the beginning. So to me, that makes this way more interesting. Djokovic is still the man to beat. He's won this 8 times. Nadal's looking amazing. He's chasing history, going for number 21, so he's going to be inspired. So everyone, to me, is going to be a very tough out. There's nobody that's an easy out in this quarterfinal, and I can't wait to watch more of these matches. So let me know your thoughts on the matchups below, who you think is going to get through, and we will see you on our semifinal matchups, and we'll see you in the comments. Thanks for your support, guys. It means a lot. Love covering the tennis with you. Thanks for checking out the Top Court link as well below. Wait, before you head out there, folks, I know you're a tennis fan because you watched this video, and you might go play some tennis or purchase some new tennis gear, but don't do that before going to courtsidesports.com, where you can get brand new gear like this brand new Head Radical, the brand new Yonex V-Core, the Adizero Ubersonic, or the Polytour Rev String. All the new gear on courtsidesports.com you can get for 10% off using our code, just because we love you, and our friends at Courtside Sports are the best online store in the world. So check them out, link below right now.